Hey everyone, let's talk about Canvas Studio today. Now, if you've ever been to this screen, I just recorded a video in Canvas and I'm ready to put my title and description, get that thing uploaded. But before I do that, I'm going to hop over to the edit button, and this is where I can put in a lot of fine editing things. So I have tools and I have abilities to cut and insert and overlay and replace. And let's spend a moment and talk through these things and really discover what some of these options are. And if you're at all curious about what this is in the background here, you can actually go to any Canvas page in your course. And if you accidentally find a page that doesn't exist, maybe you typed in something wrong. In this case, I put assignments with 2 S's at the end. Then you get this page not found, this 404 page. And it looks like nothing's there, but there's really a hidden game in there. If I press spacebar on the keyboard, then I get to play one of these few games. Here I have a Space Invaders game where I get to fight the coronavirus with vaccines. Grab some toilet paper and you can level up your vaccines and increase your ammunition. Try and get that high score and defeat the coronavirus. So that's a fun little Easter egg. Now let's take a look at Canvas Studio and see all the options available to us. Now before we get started, just if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. That really helps me out. And I appreciate all of my subscribers. So now let's go ahead and create a studio video. I'm going to go ahead and record a screen capture. Okay, now I have my recording. It's about 1 minute and I can put a title. If I wanted, I could put a description, and if the video is perfect as I recorded it, then I can click upload. But today we're going to explore this edit button. So let's quickly look into all the things that we can edit. First of all, on the right here, I can see that I have my cursor selected, and if I don't want my cursor on the screen during the video, I can deselect that, and I can also determine, do I want to emphasize whenever I'm right-clicking or left-clicking on my mouse? And do I want to put a halo around the cursor? What color do I want that halo? And if I do want clicks, what color do I want those clicks? So you can hide or you can emphasize your cursor. If I had recorded with a webcam, then I can turn the webcam on or off. And you can even have your webcam visible for certain portions of the video and then hidden for other portions of the video. I can add music as well. If I wanted some kind of background music, then I can search on my computer for that. But really what I'd like to explore today are the tools that you have on the timeline. So you can insert things at certain places on the timeline. When I click on this tools pop-up menu, then I can cut certain portions of it. For example, here at the end, I have a portion where I'm not really doing much. The screen is static, and so I can cut off certain portions. So I'd click on cut, and then you can drag. Where do you want it to start and where do you want it to end? So I'm going to go ahead and adjust the timeline here. And I will maybe cut these 2.16 seconds, and I'll click OK. And you can see the timeline, it went from 54 seconds to 52 seconds because I cut off some of it. Likewise, I can copy some of the timeline as well. So in addition to cutting, I can copy, I can hide certain elements of it. If I want to hide my webcam for portions of it, for example, I will come up here and I will hide the cursor. And then you stretch which part of the video do you want the cursor hidden. And so I can say these 3.4 seconds right here in the middle, I don't want the cursor to be showing. So I can click OK. And if I had recorded with my webcam, then I would be able to hide my webcam also. You can insert elements into this video. You can insert new recordings if I wanted to re-record something. Perhaps if I forgot something out of my outline or script and I just wanted to go back and capture that real quick, then I can do that by inserting a new recording. You can also insert existing recordings, and you can insert a pause, or you can even put a different video inside your recording. If you'd like to narrate, then that would be an option as well. You can record a procedure, for example, and then you can go back and talk over the actions of your screencast. Perhaps the most useful element of all of the editing features here is the overlay feature. And this is where I can put an image, I can blur certain elements on the screen, I can insert a shape, arrows, highlights, text, video. Let's start with putting an image. So I'd go ahead and choose a file from my computer, and then I can place that somewhere on my page. You can see that there are a few options. I can crop it, or I can resize it. If you click on Edit Style, then you can change the shape and even add a drop shadow to it. Now, a good feature that you'll probably want is that you want this to fade in and fade out. And you can see on the timeline, I can see the duration of the fade, and you can change the type of the transition as well. So I like fading. You can also have it pop, or you can have none. So the image just appears and then it abruptly disappears. But I prefer fading. Now, layering refers to if you have multiple elements on the screen, then you can determine the placement of those elements. What's on top, what's below. Do you want the image on top of the cursor, for example, or do you want the mouse cursor to go on top of the image when it's playing in the video? And finally, you can determine the opacity of the image. Do you want it to be a little bit transparent? So you can see that effect as I put it over other parts of the timeline. And you can have multiple pictures up at the same time as well. If I go to Tools and overlay another image, and now I have another image that I can play with. I can resize it, make it larger and smaller. I can crop it if I wanted. All of those options. And if I place this image over the previous one, then I go to layering, and then you can see how that changes. I can put one image on top of the other, and I can put the cursor on top or below the images. And if you needed to change any of the properties at any time, you just click on the timeline down here and you can edit the image. So let's see what other options we have. If I move forward on the timeline and go to overlay and blur, I've helped professors use the blur tool before when they record a screen recording and they get an email pop-up on the screen and they don't want to re-record the video, but they also don't want their students seeing the email pop-up. And so if I take this blur box, then I can move it somewhere on the screen and I can adjust it. Suppose I want to hide the course navigation, for example. And I can have it fade in, I can have it fade out. I can change the opacity. So if it's opacity 100, it's basically a white box, so it completely obscures the content. Or if I bump the opacity down, then you can kind of see the resemblance. You can make out what's behind there a little bit, but you can't see any details. So the blur tool is a good tool as well. The shape tool is also interesting. You have some various shapes, a square or rectangle, a rounded rectangle, triangle, circle. And if you click on the menu item, you have a few more shapes as well. It may be that the shape you use the most is the arrow tool, and you have a quick style guide. You can customize the styling. So you can define a start and an end. What kind of arrow do you want it to be? What color do you want it to be? Do you want there to be a shadow? As well as some custom features such as styling the color, the size, offset. And then to place your object on the screen, you just drag and drop, and then you can move it to where you want. You can rotate it on screen if you'd like, or you can manually put in a rotation. And again, you can change the opacity as well if you don't want it to stand right out, but you kind of want it to blend in a little bit or hint to what's behind it, then that's an option as well. So arrows and shapes are great tools for professor videos. You can also highlight certain parts of the screen as well. So that can really draw attention to a certain part of the screen. In this case, I'm going to highlight the global navigation menu. And I want this to fade in and I want it to fade out. And then you can see as I drag over the timeline, it fades in and then you can see the highlight to the left and then it fades out. Highlighting is a great way to tell the students click here or pay attention to this. Another great tool is putting overlay text. You have various styles. This default style that appeared here is not accessible. There's not enough contrast, but I can change that if I want to. I'm going to put in color. I'll just move that to a gray. And the text color, I'm going to put that to maybe a dark green color. And if I wanted that to be even darker or lighter, I can adjust it manually right here. Or I can use the eyedropper and I can select the place on the screen. And I can also click back here and put in my own custom hex color. So there's not a lot of customization. I have a few fonts that I can choose from. You can change the style, you can highlight it, you can bold, italicize, underline, strike through, and you can justify it vertically as well as the horizontal alignment. And then finally, when I'm over here, this is a callout box, so I can change where that calls from. And if I don't want that to be a callout, I'm just going to say no. So now it's just a text box. If I don't want a background color either, then I'll go to Style, Background, and I can just say no color. And so that's really up to you. Now for any of these elements that are on the timeline, if I wanted to manually adjust the amount of time they appear on screen, I can click and drag to expand or collapse these. So smaller would be less time on the screen. And then when I've made all the changes that I want, I can click OK. If you wanted to copy that, then you have a duplicate button right here. Now in this video, we're just getting started to explore these advanced features, and so you can take a look at paste and video overlays as well. If you ever wanted a picture-in-picture, for example, you could put another video on top of your screencast. There's also options to replace your video as well as to freeze your frame. You can add sounds to your video, such as sound effects or music, and you can also speed up and slow down portions of your video. Let's take a look at slow down looks like. I'm going to highlight a portion of this later on in the timeline, and we're going to slow it down. You can slow it 2x or 3x or 4x slower. I'm going to make that twice as slow, and then I'll click OK, and notice that right now it's 52 seconds, and when I click OK, it expands it to 56 seconds because this portion is now slower, so it's going to take a longer time. And likewise, I can speed up this portion right here. I can say for these few seconds, I want it to go 2 times faster. Now, if you're putting multiple videos together, which we haven't really looked at, you can also put transitions in between those videos. There are various transitions to choose from, and I'm going to tell you that really the only transition that you should consider is fade. It'll fade from one video to the other, and everything else is gimmicky. Unless you're teaching in K6 and you want that gimmick for your children to pay attention, then maybe you'll consider some of these other options. But most of the time, fade is going to be just fine. The last thing I'll show you, if for some reason you were recording and the microphone didn't pick up the volume very much and you have to increase it, or if it picked up a little bit too much and you need to decrease it, then you have a volume option here. You can decrease and increase the volume. Or if you wanted to silence the entire track, then you can silence that as well. In that case, you may want to go to narration and record something over the screencast. For now, I'm going to cancel. We've made various changes, added a lot of embellishment to this video. And if you like the production and you're done with it, then you'll click the done button. Put in your title, put in a description if you want, and click upload. All right, now we're back into Canvas, and let's go ahead and check out our video that we uploaded. First thing I'm going to do is replace that thumbnail. Let's get something a little more interesting. All right, perfect. And now I can go ahead and view it. Now, if this is a video that had narration at all, I would definitely want to go to captions and request my captions. Now, in this case, I was reticent, so there's nothing to caption, so I won't request that, but that's what I would do. Select English or whatever language you're speaking and request those. If you have a captions file already, then you can upload that. But now I can scroll through on the timeline and I can see some of the interactions. There's that blur that we put in. Here's the arrow that we put in. You can see it fade in. And then in a couple seconds, it's going to fade out. Later on, we put in some pictures. And you can see all of the edits that we made. And so that's an overview of how you can edit your Canvas Studio videos. We didn't cover everything, but I think this is a good tutorial to get you started and get you exploring some of the features and functionalities with Studio. Again, if you like this video and you'd like to see more, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Punch it right in the face, and don't forget to follow us on social media as well. I hope you use Studio to make awesome videos for your students, and everybody, happy teaching and learning.